Good evening and welcome to the show. We're just going to take 10 minutes this evening and talk to you about all the backer pause stuff. My name is Mr. Anderson. That's me on the actual screen. I'm going to be going live. For some reason, my camera is not starting today. So I just threw up a quick picture. We're going to be doing backer pause titles only. So we're going to be looking at titles and descriptions today. Enough of me. Let's get on with the show. And we're going to be debuting. We're not really going to be looking at videos. I'm going to be the judge. So since I have a Kickstarter on this evening, we'll be looking at my video right now. So buckle up. And this is the Desire Index.
Vanilla warning. The flavors mentioned inside are different flavors of life. There will be mixing of flavors and toppings. Some of what is mentioned will require an open mind and deals with real desires and cakes. Vanilla discretion is advised. The Desire Index is the next chapter of the Barbara Unleashed franchise and is the first official release from Comics Unleashed, an imprint of Continuum Comics, where comic creations come to life to misbehave and push boundaries. With the season of fertility upon us, there's no better time than now for the Desire Index to educate yourself and learn more about your play partners with topics like what are munches, what are safe words, what are safe actions, what are action words, learn how to manage your expectations, learn about red flags to avoid, and even play a new game called Red Light, Green Light BDSM Edition. As stated, this is part of the Barbara Unleashed universe and the newest release from the franchise. And this campaign will have the Kinky Reader Mystery Bag, where no two reward is the same, just like you kinksters. And always remember, not everyone is born to be normal. Some are born to be different. So never apologize for being kinky. For more information about this project, go to thedesireindex.com. Thank you for watching this video, and remember, my friends, to stay kinky.
All right, so that is it. That's the video I have for you guys to see tonight. And instead tonight, we're going to look at the titles. And we've been talking about making this show a little more interesting each week. And this is going to be one of the ways we're going to test out tonight as we just look at the basic elevator pitch. So can these elevator pitches get you? We're going to find out tonight. Remember, you can find all of these right now live on backerpause.com. And where you're watching it, you should have gotten some description, except for Twitter, because you guys don't get that stuff. Not my deal. That's Twitter's deal. If Mr. Musk takes over, you can demand that he gets us to be able to put that stuff there. But for now, we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about what's on the show this week. Notice the supply chain issues still affecting everyone, so be mindful of that. And now for the list. So we only have a little bit of time, and it's 9 o'clock. That's 3 hours right now if you're watching this live, to get your copy of Nightwolf 1 through 6 urban fantasy werewolf coming of age drama. After discovering his werewolf lineage, a young man is reluctantly thrown into a supernatural war. I don't have a lot of notes on that at all. I think that's solid. It tells you what's going on. It gets you involved. You know what's happening, I think, in a good measured way. Well done, Robin, on Nightwolf team, because that really does land really well, in my opinion. Moving on, we have, oh, by the way, last chance to get this amazing image too as well. After tonight, you will not be able to get the White Ash Nightwolf crossover image. So back it now or forever hate yourself for not getting that, because that looks amazing. New to the show, this is from Todd. He gives us Disciple. 22 full-color comic book that mixes professional wrestling with mythology and horror. I'll be honest, I think he misses the mark here. You want to do a pitch. That doesn't sound like a pitch as much as it is a descriptor for a catalog that you're not going to have this in right now. That's like the fine print of the campaign itself. I wish he'd put more into it, honestly. I think that there's probably a bigger story that he's trying to tell, and I want that pitch. You should have your quick elevator pitch on these at all times. Have them want it. This should be it. You should be able to sell comics just based on this on Kickstarter. So Fish League gives us the Green Zone Life in Blocks. This is going to be brand new ongoing series following a group of new recruits to the police force in a world full of superpowered genomes. That's good. That nails it. That gives me enough. And remember, you got some room in here, and you'll see when we get to mine. I use almost every character I can. That is always my goal. And then here we are. Actually, we're right on top of it. I'm doing a shorter campaign, so oh, I don't even have it listed here because I used all the other things. I don't know why it's weird. It didn't bring up a preview. It's been doing this lately, so we'll quickly go over to my thing, and I'll give you the pitch. So here it is. Here's what I wrote: the Desire Index, a guide to helping playmates connect. And I apologize, Jax is sick in the background. He's coughing. I'm not going to tell him to try to be quiet if he's sick, but you will hear some coughing. So the Desire Index, a guide to helping playmates connect. If you know, you know. And if you don't, that's why we have a vanilla warning. A beginner's guide to the world, it should say of BDSM, but I don't have the room for of BDSM. So I put the world BD, or I could switch it, and probably after this I'll do the BDSM world. That just switching it to make it work, right? That'll fix that up, and that is educational and prompts newly formed playmates to communicate and explore their mutual desires. And sometimes you're going to make a mistake. And hi, Daniela from TikTok. Thank you for joining us this evening. And also, think about getting a URL that goes right to your actual campaign. See, I can say just go to the desireindex.com and you get to this. So always try to use as much advantage, put things together, say things out loud. Because of my dyslexia, that's backwards. I bet you I meant BDSM world, and I actually just flipped it. Easy to fix. Remember, you can change your campaign throughout the whole campaign. Don't be afraid to make changes after you hit the live button, even if you're Twitter. And this is important. Sometimes when you put stuff on Twitter, it doesn't always show through. Remember that. There are 3 covers, and for some reason, one of the covers stubbornly is not showing. But one of those, the middle one, is actually a misdirect cover. So you can carry this great book with you. Well, I shouldn't say great. It's your job to tell me if it's great. But the cover is great. I can tell you that. The cover is amazing. I love the art. I can say that. Even though it's my project, amazing work done by Damian Alves. And that's a great misdirect, but it is part of the overall universe. We're going to move on. Here we go. The Absolver 1 through 3, Sovereign on High. And I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm sorry, but that's what I got tonight. And we're going to have a new supernatural horror superhero series about a wrath of vengeance in a war against heaven and hell. I think you could have gone a little more, because I like this. Both heaven and hell fear him. That's a better pitch to me right there. That should have been in it. I think that you got to kind of put him in center there. I would have liked to see that there. Tales of Tesla, Sci-Fi Adventures. I don't know what the stands for. I might be missing the importance of that. Full color comic. I don't know if that's a selling point. Again, that's more of a descriptor. Sci-fi adventure, action adventure comic book, first book in an ongoing series. None of that really, to me, tells me a reason to back it. It's just informative. Be careful. Elevator pitch. Get him to stop, then hit him with those details. Coming from Charlie Stickney, and this is always good. He gets it out. White Ash Deluxe Edition, so you know this is the big one. It's the hit fantasy series about elves and dwarves in Pennsylvania. Returns to its home on Kickstarter with all new 64 pages. So there you go. That's a good pitch. It tells you what you're getting into. A little bit more geared towards fans, but again, this is a deluxe edition. I get why you'd want to focus on your fans for one of those. But I would have liked to see if he could have fit it. I don't think he could have. But if there were some room, just a little bit more about the story if he could. But I don't think he could. I do think he took it on as much as he could. The third campaign, Sacrifice 1 through 3. Magic, Monsters, Mayhem can all be found in this 32-page issue of Sacrifice. In this regard, I do think the 32 pages does say a lot because it actually tells you that it's a bigger than normal book. We have Spectrum, New Stories of the Worlds of Gary Anderson. I don't know if that really does anything. We got Gotham, which is the Batman parody comic series, continues. Stretch goals, cameos. Again, I think that's more of a miss. We have The Bar, a cinematic horror series of standalone stories with elements of supernatural. Mature, that's pretty good. Sisters of Mercy, Kingdom Come. A schizophrenic nun is led by the voice of God through a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Christy Shin gives us Demon Bitch, You All Suck. COVID-19 made us all stupid. Now we get to laugh at ourselves. This means you. That's a good one. Madeline Holly Rousing, we don't have her pitch, so we're going to go to it. It's Boston Metaphysical Society, Volume 2, Steampunk, Supernatural Goddess, all 4 sequels combined into one paperback, plus a 10-page bonus story. So there you go. That tells you that I would have liked just a little bit more on this, because I know this series is really interesting and great, and I wish she would have pitched a little more, but definitely hits on some great words that can definitely motivate you to want. Like, it definitely calls to you. New to the program, we have Forbidden, an authentic horror comic, an uncompromising horror comic. It's so dangerous, it's forced the other crowdfunding site to change their rules to match Kickstarter. I'm sure there's a story behind that, but we don't know what that story is, so I'm not sure this really tells us enough about it on what other site. There's just too much there for us to interpret without interpretation being given to us. That could be cleaned up a little bit. This is Trolls Exposed, step into the world that has been hidden from most mortals until now in Trolls Exposed. If you like trolls, I guess this is for you. I would have liked a little more pitch. Just the fact that there are trolls there, I don't know if that does enough for me. Coming soon, Cold Blooded, Volume 2. This is the manga monster battling monsters. And Vera Sam gives us coming soon. There's an Alien in My Toilet, issue number 2. And Sam Johnson gives us the continuation from Geek Girl, the Voodoo Junkie Hit Woman. So that's it. That's the titles. Do you remember any of them? Did any of them stand out to you? Did any of them ring like you wanted to check them out? Well, that's the point of all those pitches and how quickly we went. I guarantee you there's at least 1 or 2 that you liked. Go find out what they're more about by going to backerpaws.com. We'll see you next week with a full show. That's right, an entire show. We're going to invite some creators. We're going to have a regular hour-long program. As we will be committing to doing the last Wednesday of every month, a full boat Backer Paws. So we'll see you next week. All right, TikTok, thank you for hanging out.